10 years ago, a game company called Relic had created a cult classic in the Warhammer 40k community. 10 years ago, new fans have discovered the grim darkness of the far future, where there is only war. 10 years ago, this Australian was recommended a game from his cousin. Thought he might like it. He loved it. And that game had changed his life forever. That game was Warhammer 40k Space Marine. And just a few days ago, Christmas came early, and we have an announcement of a sequel to our most beloved game of all time. What's up, everybody? I'm SGF Nunified Fighter, and today we're going to be breaking down the trailer for Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2. To everyone new to the community who hasn't seen it yet, I'm going to play it for you right now. To all of you avid fans of Warhammer 40k, you've probably already seen this trailer. You probably wouldn't mind watching it again. So here it is.
Company command! This is first platoon! We've lost the square! We can't hold it!
Are you as excited as I am? We got quite a lot to cover in this trailer. So let's start with the biggest thing that returning Space Marine fans are going to absolutely love. Our boy Titus is back! He has not been killed for heresy by the Inquisition, and by the looks of his face, he has served the Imperium for hundreds of years since the last time we saw him. By the looks of things, Captain Titus has been demoted to a lieutenant by looking at his helmet, but that doesn't take away from his overall skill with a chainsword. So in Space Marine 2, we've moved away from the comic relief enemy known as the Orcs, and we have dived straight into Tyranids. Gene stealers. Nasty little bugs. This game is set in the 42nd millennium, where Rebute Gilliman has returned, and Belisarius Cole has introduced to the Imperium the Primaris Space Marines, which, contrary to popular belief, I actually like. Now, I understand when Primaris models were initially released, most people on the tabletop were afraid that their firstborn armies were going to no longer be able to be useful. But Games Workshop has managed to fix this issue, so it's no longer a problem. We have so many of some of our most beloved firstborn Space Marines be converted into Primaris Marines, such as Manilus Calgar and Keavan Shrike. And the Chapter Masters still have special tech unique to them, so it doesn't take away from their overall individuality. By the looks of the gameplay aspect of the trailer, it does look like we're going to be able to use the Primaris arsenal of weapons and equipment, much like the firstborn generation of those weapons and gear that had come before. We are still going to jump pack, smash into the ground. We are still going to use our chainsword to cut our way through hordes of enemies. And the bolt rifle is going to be as powerful as ever. The one thing that Warhammer 40k Space Marine did right was capture how brutally terrifying the orcs were, and yet comical at the same time. We are not going to be able to get that element of comedy that we loved in the first game in this game, playing against the Tyranids. But as long as the game retains its hack and slash gameplay that we absolutely love, I think this game will still be pretty good. Warhammer 40k Space Marine has a special place in all of our hearts. This was the first piece of media that introduced me to Warhammer 40k properly and made me fall in love with the universe. This was the game that had led me to study the lore of the universe and to preach the word of the Imperium on TikTok, to stand in front of you today on YouTube to tell you all how much I love Warhammer. Which, yes, I realize is very ironic, me being a furry. There is quite a lot of controversy when you see a furry being more loyal to the Imperium than you. I honestly really could not care too much about that. I will preach that we do need to bring Thelinids back and make them a playable race again, but I'm not gonna mind if that never happens. Because no matter what happens, I am still going to love Warhammer 40k as a franchise. I love the lore, I love the universe, and nothing is ever going to change that. I do not support some of Games Workshop's decisions, but I'm not going to complain about it. Because at the end of the day, it's not going to stop me from enjoying Warhammer 40k my way. And one of my favorite ways to enjoy Warhammer is the video games themselves. I love turn-based strategy games, and I really don't mind if Warhammer makes more of them. I'm looking forward to Chaos Gate. But I would love to see more hack and slash games like Space Marine. Necromunda Hired Gun was a step in the right direction. I really enjoyed that game. Felt very much like playing Doom, which made the gameplay very fun, even if the story was a little dry. Okay, a little bit more than just a little dry. The gameplay aspect of it made up for the rest of the gaming experience. Warhammer 40k Space Marine, from the very beginning, shows you that you are a small dot in this gigantic war. And yet that small dot lands in the most epic superhero landing possible, and you jump straight into the game slaughtering through orcs. If Space Marine 2 manages to capture the opening to its game much in the similar way that they did in the first game, then I think it's going to start off pretty strong and we're going to get an excellent gaming experience out of this. Obviously, it is way too early to tell of the quality of the storytelling or gameplay aspects of this game. We have only just gotten an announcement that this game is being made. and the game has a lot to show for it. Overall, I'm hopeful for this game. I'm not going to have my expectations too high so that I'm disappointed. I'm still going to be excited though, because I am excited. This is one of my favorite games of all time. Getting a sequel. The only thing that would be better than getting a game like this is perhaps the idea of a different kind of game. Perhaps being a lone guardsman isolated in a hive city that is infested with gene stealers. Much like Alien Isolation, you have to sneak your way around, and the few weapons that are available to you can do very little to the Xenos. You might be able to find a smaller bolt gun that the Sororitas use that will do a lot of damage to the Tyranids, but could also harm you while using it. And also there's very scarce ammunition for bolt rounds. I just love the idea of a game company exploring the horror aspect of Warhammer 40k more than the epicness of it. But if I had to personally pick between the two to play with friends and hang out on a Saturday evening, I think I'm gonna have to go with the epic slasher of Space Marine. Nothing compares to feeling like you're in the ceramite boots of a Space Marine. There is one more thing I do want to note about the trailer, so we're going to come back to our boy Titus. So for everyone who's played the game, at the end, we are given an open-ended ending where Titus is taken away by the Inquisition to be interrogated. At least we thought that Titus was surely going to be found as a heretic and then die. But that is not the case. He is alive and well, has served many more years of service, but there's one small detail that most people won't see unless they have very observant eyes or are looking closely at each frame. We do see that Titus's right arm is bound in chains. This is not uncommon for Space Marines outside of the Black Templars, albeit it's a practice that's still very rarely used. But there seems to be a reason for the chains around his arm. On the back of his arm is the badge of the Inquisition. Does that mean that Titus is forever bound to the Inquisition? Is our boy tied on a dog collar to the Inquisition, answering exclusively to them, unable to act autonomously in his own chapter anymore? Or is this a badge of honor to show the Inquisition's trust in the former captain? All are possibilities, but nothing will be confirmed until the game is released. All is speculation until the game releases and we're able to find out for ourselves, which I will be passionately looking forward to. What do you guys think of the game? Do you think it's going to be an amazing sequel? Do you think it's going to fall short of our high expectations? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. I want to take a moment to thank all of you guys for all your love and support. Every little bit really makes my day. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you're all having a really great day today, and I'll talk to you all later.